Congratulations. I was just wondering, coming from Ohio State, I didn't know if you had any personal connection to Corey Linsley, if you knew him at all, or just how familiar you are with him and what he had done at Green Bay.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I do know Corey. I've watched him play over the years on film, and I've seen him in passing several times at Ohio State, and have talked to him on several different occasions. So I do know Corey and about his career in Green Bay as well.
Ryan Wood.
Josh, I guess to continue that along those lines, what would it mean to you to kind of pick up this mantle and go and fill his starting spot that he left here?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean everything to me to come in and be able to do that. And he's just such a great player, and to follow him up is a big task that I'm excited to get a shot at.
Wes Hodkiewicz.
Hey, Josh. First off, just the decision to go to Ohio State, what played into that, obviously with all your connections to Kentucky? And secondly, the decision to go to center. Why did you feel that would be a good spot for you, and what allowed you to excel there?
Those are great questions. So really, Ohio State, I chose Ohio State for a couple of reasons. One of them being I had the opportunity, to be a contender for a national championship every year. And I also could see on the outside looking in how close they were. There was like a family at Ohio State, and to me that was extremely important. And those two things are really what took over and led to me committing to Ohio State. And then I'm sorry, what was your second question again?
And then just with, obviously being a guard, I think in high school, the decision to make that move to center, what did you like about that position, and what allowed you to excel in that spot?
Right. Okay. Yeah. My coaches asked me to move to center after my redshirt freshman year at Ohio State. And really, it was they needed me to do it, and so I did what was best for the team in that situation, and ended up falling in love with the position. Everything about it. I love the physicality of it. I love, the fact that you kind of have to be a leader. You have to make calls. Just all the things that come with it. I just fell in love with.
MK Burgess.
Josh, can you walk us through what went through your mind when you got that call that you were going to be a Green Bay Packer?
Yeah, man, I was so excited. It's hard for me to even put into words what that feeling is like. I've spent my whole life working at this game, and I don't know if I've ever seen it pay off so quickly. Without warning, man. I looked down, and my agent was sitting right next to me, and he looks down as well when my phone started ringing and said, "Hey, you should probably pick that up." And of course, it said, Green Bay, Wisconsin on there, and just the biggest rush of emotion I've ever felt in my life.
Mark Daniels.
Hey, congratulations, Josh. Can you just talk about the importance of, assuming the role of, not only the center handling calls and everything on the offensive line, but becoming a captain, and how important was that to round you out as an overall player?
Yeah, it was extremely important to me. Really, being named a captain at Ohio State for me was, the greatest award, the greatest achievement that I've ever had in my life. To have the respect and the trust of my teammates, it meant everything to me. And I absolutely think that kind of comes with being a center. And it was a very large part of my career at Ohio State. And I certainly hope it's a large part of my career in Green Bay as well.
Matt Schneidman.
So, Josh, who's the best athlete in your family?
I always say my mom.
Bill Huber.
Hey, Josh, can you tell us a story about you were wrestling with your brother, Zach, in the basement, and you got tackled into a pillar, and you got like a nasty gash on it, and your mom fixed it in the living room?
Yeah, we were playing some kind of football game, in the basement. And my older brother, I had beat him several times in a row, whatever game we were playing. And I beat him again and stood up, and he kind of was so mad. He gave me a good shove, and I just went head first into the corner of the wall. And yeah, I got a pretty good cut on the side of my head, and they had to stitch me up. My mom stitched me up in the living room. Yeah.
Tom Silverstein.
Hey, Josh, when did you injure the toe? How much did you play through it? And where are you with it now?
Yeah, I injured my toe on one of the last plays in the Big Ten championship game originally. And then I continued to play on it for the Clemson game, and that's where I ended up really doing a number on it. And that was the game where I ended up having to get surgery because of that. But I played through the Bama game as well, and then ended up getting surgery after that. And at this point in recovery or rehab, I was running this past week. I ran at the Ohio State football facility, dang near full speed. And I've really started doing offensive line drills as well. So it's going really well, and I've come a long way.
Mike Spofford.
Yeah, Josh, congratulations to you. To follow up on that, how tough was it to play through that injury at the end of your college career, and what kind of a decision was it to, play through that versus maybe trying to protect yourself, knowing you were going into the draft and all that?
Yeah, it was extremely painful to play through it. As an offensive lineman, pushing through that toe, you just do it so often, and so playing through those games hurt really, really badly. But really, the decision came down to, I just felt like I owed it to myself and to my teammates, our coaches, and everyone at Ohio State to kind of gut it up and play through it, and give ourselves a shot at a national championship. And, to be honest, I knew there was a chance it could hurt me going into the NFL draft, but it was one of those things that I just felt like I needed to do it, whether it hurt me or not, because it was what was best for the team. And I definitely plan on bringing, that same team first mentality to Green Bay.
Lily Zhao.
Hey, Josh, congratulations. Just wondering, what does it mean going to an organization like Green Bay that really values family football lineage? And also, are you going to bring over that tradition you did at Ohio State with your grandfather's jersey and your sock?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it means everything to me. It's kind of like what I said with Ohio State. That was such a big part of it for me in going to Ohio State. And so to go to an organization like Green Bay and to be a part of everything that they have going on there, to be a family, to get into the locker room and meet those guys, I'm just so excited. I just can't wait.
Rob Domofsky.
Hey, Josh, I got two questions, but real quick about the toe. Did you come here because they have the probably the foremost turf toe guy in Green Bay? Did you come here for that?
I did. Yes.
And what, did you have any idea you might be coming back here for real?
I definitely, yes, I absolutely knew there was a chance, which was, it was super exciting for me and my family to go up there and even just, to see Lambeau Field and to be around Green Bay. I mean, we talked about how incredible it would be if I ever got the chance to play there. And here we are. So.
And if I could just follow up about your mom. So she's a Hall of Fame basketball player at Dayton. She is a doctor/nurse. How big of an influence is she on you? And what, is there anything she can't do?
That's a great question. There is literally nothing she can't do. She played basketball and she played volleyball at Dayton as well her freshman year, and then gave it up as she was going through pre-med. I think it just got to be a lot. But there's nothing she can't do. And I mean, she's been a massive influence on my life. Both of my parents have. They're the best people with the biggest hearts, and they always took care of me and my brothers and showed us an incredible amount of love. So they're just the absolute best.
Olivia Reiner.
Hi, Josh. You went through tons of interviews over the past several months. However, what, if anything, stood out to you about your interactions with the Packers?
There are a lot of things that stood out. To me, I could always tell in the meetings what organizations, if you didn't know that the Packers were a great organization, you would be able to tell by the way the meeting was conducted, just the professionalism behind it. They always ask great questions that really gave me an opportunity to sell myself. So you can just kind of tell and feel throughout those meetings which teams are great organizations, and obviously the Packers were one of them.
Mike Clemens.
Hey, Josh, your reaction to the Bears trading up to get your quarterback, Justin, and have you ever had a chance to chat with Corey Linsley?
Yeah, I was happy for Justin. I wanted Justin to go as early as he possibly could. So I was happy to see him get picked up. And I talked to Corey relatively recently, within the last couple weeks, just checking in, trying to pick his brain and learn as much as I could from him.
Ryan Wood.
Hey, Josh, going back to that initial transfer to the center position, was there any initial surprise? You don't see a lot of 6'5" centers, and how have you kind of adjusted and used your height? What do you think your height does for you at that position?
Yeah, I was very surprised when I got moved to center, but I was excited for the challenge as well. And I think my height, I think my ability to move at the height that I'm at is kind of what separates me. And I felt like that was always a strength of mine at Ohio State. So, I have the height, I have the size, but I also feel like I have the athleticism as well to get the job done.
Matt Schneidman.
So, Josh, your new offensive line coach went to Michigan. The guy you might be starting next to, and John Runyon Jr., went to Michigan. The guy who announced your pick went to Michigan. How do you feel about that?
That's not really something I thought about. That's super interesting. I don't have a great answer for you on that one.
Bill Rayber.
Hey, Josh, you worked so much out of the shotgun at Ohio State. Probably not as much in the NFL when you get here. Does that present a major challenge for you, or what's the difference?
Well, I don't think so. I did a good bit of under center snapping as well at Ohio State. We didn't do it a ton in the games. We did do it in games, but just not as much as we would in practice. Honestly, we did it a ton in practice, and I got really used to it and really comfortable with it. So, I don't think it presents a whole big challenge. It's something that I've been used to doing for a couple years now.